You're now tuned into the fourth season of Atypical Voices in Our Time, the official podcast of Chemistry Productions, a media education company. Let's get it started.
That's AVIOT.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It is the AVIOT podcast. I'm your gracious co-host, Jay Stokes, joined by Jay Random. Welcome back, Jay. It feels like we haven't done this in forever.
Yeah, man. You're right. But yeah, man, we back. We back. But you know what, though? We came back at the right time.
We did with all this nonsense out here. You see, I got my notepad because I need to go through bit
There's
by
definitely
bit.
some nonsense going on. Yeah, definitely.
Way too much nonsense. So let's talk about the story that everybody's been talking about. We're just adding more to the clutter out there. Shannon Sharpe, NFL Hall of Famer, host of Club Shay Shay, co-host of Nightcap, appears on ESPN. I think he was signing a lucrative...
For how long?
What happened?
I said for how long?
What, okay. ESPN?
Yeah.
Has it even
been
on
ESPN?
Yet? Has it even been a year
No,
yet?
I said for how long? It's about because ESPN don't play. That's Disney.
Yeah. So we'll just tell the people he's been accused of raping. I'm tired of when people say sexual assault. I understand rape falls within the realm of sexual assault, but I feel that sexual assault is less intense. When you say someone was raped, it's different than saying sexual assault. Sexual assault is, so
now the lady saying that she was raped?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was sexual assault too. I thought it was
exactly. See the problem? See the problem? What I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's saying,
it's a problem.
She's saying that on two separate occasions that he quote unquote sexually assaulted her. So they were having sex.
Okay, I'm listening. Wait, pause.
Because my computer paused.
Okay, you looking at me, I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, we on delay?
No, my computer paused.
Okay.
No, sorry. Yeah, so they were having sex, and you're saying he sexually assaulted you on two separate occasions. How can you sexually assault someone when you're having sex? You mean he raped you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why.
Let's keep it 100. And yo, I tell you, this case right here.
Let me just
touchy, right?
Let me just give a little bit more. So this woman is allegedly the rumors, the images floating around. This is a white woman who was 19 at the time that Shannon met her. I think this would put him around the age of 53. I think he's 56 right now. He's in his 50s when he met her, and she was a teenager allegedly or reportedly. And now she's 20 going on 21. I don't know. So she's in her 20s now.
Gosh.
And so they met.
It's just getting nastier by the second.
They met and they engaged in what was reportedly a consensual relationship. And now she's seeking $50 million in damages, saying that she was in a relationship with him for nearly 2 years. And it began as a rocky consensual relationship. So there's a lot of...
So where's the $50 million come into play? Why she want $50 million?
For the rape.
Do we know why?
Or the sexual assault, I should say.
So sexual assault comes with a price tag now?
I mean, essentially, she wants to be paid for damages that she suffered because of that and because of the rocky relationship. Now, she released her, and now she's being represented by Tony Busby. For those of you who don't know, Tony Busby...
Ambulance chaser.
That is what he's called because he failed to get Jay-Z convicted or hung up in this mess where he was accused of also raping a girl back in the day. And so that whole thing got tossed out. And actually, did you know that the Jane Doe that claimed that Jay-Z raped her back in the day is actually filing a motion for him to dismiss his lawsuit suing her for defamation of character?
Wow.
What?
Yeah, so...
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, at the end of the day, she don't have no money. She didn't gain any money in this. She didn't gain anything, so it's kind of like now, okay, you suing me? I don't have no money.
Exactly, but that's why you can't
Please stop. Don't sue me.
That's why you can't be making false allegations against people. I mean,
I agree.
It's allegedly a false allegation, right? You can't be making these allegations against people.
I agree.
Right?
I
and
agree.
The thing is, that's always going to, unfortunately, that's always going to hang over Jay-Z's head. I think that's always going to be something that floats around, even if he is seen as innocent or proven innocent. That's always going to float around. But with this Shannon Sharpe situation, there was a video that went out talking about that showed him, or not a video, an audio recording that went out in which he said he was going to choke the S out of this woman who he says name is Gabby.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what? What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
And then his team released text messages showing that I guess they like race play. She was using some very explicit stuff saying, I want your baby gravy in me. I want to have your big black babies.
Oh, no.
And that is very cringe. And so I didn't mean to take up this conversation, Jay, but I just wanted to kind of set the table. Since then, we have, I think Shannon has released a video saying that this is a shakedown and he believes that a sex tape is going to come out. And then his lawyer released the information that he tried to give her 10 million already to settle the situation. I guess he didn't want to have the heat. And so that also might make things look bad because now people are like, oh, well, did he really rape her? And now you got all these messages going back and forth. I do believe they were engaged in some kind of race play, some BDSM, some submissive, dominant thing. And now with all these messages coming out, we don't know what's part of that relationship. We don't know if there's any non-consensual behaviors. We don't know because it's a he say, she say matter. So now I'm done and you have the floor.
Nah, just no. I was just listening and just collecting my thoughts while you were talking. So I mean, yeah, I'm kind of speechless in this whole thing because I mean, first of all, I'm disgusted at the age, 20, like I'm 47, right? And if I was single, 20 would just be no, right? You got to at least be 30. I'm not even gonna lie. 28 might be, unless you can sing the tunes to a Michael Jackson song back in the days, then 28 is the cutoff. But and I ain't talking about the ones that's on the radio. I want to hear some side B songs, right? But besides that, man, 20 is just you can't do that. That's disgusting. I don't care, male or female. I think that's just predatorial. I think, in my eyes, when I think about a older person and that young of a person, because you literally could have been her teacher.
Or her parent. He has kids that are older than
Or her parent. Exactly. So it's kind of like, nah, that's nasty. That's number one. The age is really bothering me. Number two, I think he's going to have to step down from ESPN because just like Jonathan Majors, right? Just like any other case with a high profile person, excuse me, regardless if you're innocent or not, the perception is already bad, right?
Correct.
Every time we see you now, we thinking about, damn, stand to mess with young girls. Damn.
Not even that, the race play element, because then you have
How about to
people.
say that? Shannon get down with the no, like, just because you dating outside your race, that don't mean you gonna play master, slave, slit, and fill, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, just stick to regular sex, right? Because when it's all said and done, stuff like this could come out. Now you like, oh, like I'm pretty sure the damaging part, I do believe, if they've been doing role play, I'm telling you, she got some tweets of him allowing her to say the N word, and
Oh
if
yeah, yeah, yeah,
she
definitely.
and if she does, he is done,
That's correct.
done,
Yeah, I
done.
mean,
And what I mean by done is it ain't no coming back from this, right?
right.
Like this already is kind of shady and already kind of sketchy, and I feel like uh, I just feel like he's gonna have to step down from ESPN. ESPN is Disney, right? He pissed off a lot. He must have pissed off some powerful people, man. Because you said he was dating her for like on and off for 3 years. So that's when he was with Undisputed, right? Right? Is that the same around the same
No,
time?
it
Because he only
said
been with Stephen A.
reportedly it says that they were in a relationship for nearly 2 years.
2 years. Okay. Was he still with Undisputed? I don't think he has been with Stephen for 2 years.
So we have 2 years. Is he 56 now?
56 now.
He's 56 now. So okay. So people are saying 53. So that means that puts him at about 54.
54. Yeah.
So that puts him about
Correct.
54 when they met 2 years ago. Yeah, he would be with Undisputed. That means he was with Undisputed.
And I never forget. I forgot his name, but when Shannon and this guy was going back and forth, he said, Shannon, watch what you say because I have some stuff on you, or type,
Who
the
said
people.
that?
Whitmore. Remember the time when Stephen A. and Shannon were going back and forth with what?
Him, that
Which part?
dude.
Hey, I'm just saying. So, I mean, I wouldn't find it hard to believe that this has been brewing for a minute. Like, people have been, like, this whole thing probably was staged because they know how he get down. They know he like him young, right?
I know
You know you like him young. Shout out to you. Shout out to the other one who like him young, who now
Hey Shay,
who knows?
I know you like him young.
Exactly. So, for all we know, this is probably this right here is probably all set up, right? He meets her at a gym. They start exchanging numbers, and all of a sudden, I think, isn't it true? Everything went left when she asked for 25K, right?
I don't know about that one, but I think there was talk of money beforehand.
Okay. Yes, that's why I feel like, yo, man, you gotta be smart. You have to be smart, and people, you gotta be disciplined, man. You gotta be disciplined.
Yes.
You and I, we have conversations off the air where we talk about certain things, and I'm more like in the mindset of, when you and I. Well, matter of fact, this I think you sent me a tweet or something when this person was saying everybody screaming Shannon need a wife. No, Shannon need to be disciplined. He need to be disciplined.
So
We ain't trying to tell you not to have sex.
Let me reel this back, and we hop all over the place. I
Yeah.
tried to have this kind of piece by piece. Let's
Okay.
let's start from the giddy up, the women's race, because you mentioned Jonathan Majors earlier, right?
Mhm.
It really is. It bothers me how you have these black men who work so hard to get their career to a certain point, only to mess around with white women, and now their career is over. And the problem is, when we're talking about a consensual sexual relationship, this is something that happened between those two. And the thing is, we've seen throughout history, even if it's consensual, a white woman can change her mind at the drop of a hat and then say, you know what? I didn't want this in the first place. I was raped. I didn't feel comfortable. So that is something to consider. That's something to consider here. There is a racial element. And I'm really, it's sad that we have certain black men. It's not all black men, because I know some people are taking this moment in order to castigate all black men and say that, all these black men love these snow bunnies, these Beckys. No, it's not all black men. It is these ones that we're highlighting right here. And those that choose to go that route and they get in trouble. It is what it is, right? So it just really bothers me. Shannon does have a pattern, it seems. And it seems, even though his children are black and it seems like he procreated with black women to have these children, as of late, it seems that he just deals with white women. Case in point, there was that other situation where he had his IG live on by mistake, and it recorded the audio of him sleeping with another woman who many assume is white.
Mm-hmm.
What I have to say is, and this goes back to your point of the discipline, Shannon's being very reckless. So even if Disney doesn't cut ties with him for this situation alone, his sexual activities are reckless.
If you're listening to the AVIOT podcast on a streaming service, make sure to leave a rating and a review so we can grow our platform.
And it seems that he's trying to invite people who he knows is going to be reckless with him. I'm not saying that it's just white women that are reckless. I'm just saying that there is a pattern here. He's being reckless, and these people happen to be white. And unfortunately, because he's being reckless with these white individuals, that can cost him in the long run because they can twist the narrative. We've seen this with the Scottsboro boys. We've seen this with Emmett Till. We've seen this with the Exonerated Five. We see this with the countless black men nowadays that get let out of prison after serving a number of years because they were falsely accused of rape. I know there's this woman named Alice Sebold, I think, that wrote a book saying that she was raped by a black man, and this black man was falsely imprisoned, I think, since the 90s because of her claim that it was that particular black man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my diatribe there.
What? So how you think I feel? Gotcha. So no, that's funny. That's funny. You give me that look. So I hear you. So it's two things. When it comes to this whole situation with Shannon, I don't really want to say he was reckless, right? Because it's just sex. It's just he's picking the wrong people to have sex with. So I don't know if you call that reckless or not. Now, the fetish of dating younger women, now that could be reckless because if he started talking to her when she was 19, that's a problem, right? The man is having sex. That's not the problem. The problem is who he's having sex with. Like his vision, I mean, his judgment is cloudy because of probably who he think he is as a person who I made it. Yeah, I'm a prize. Yeah, you normally only a prize is to the one that loves you, not the one that's with you for money, right? Let's think about it. If someone's with you for money, they don't care about you being a prize, as long as that money keep coming, right? If you want someone that loves you and that money goes, then yes, you're still that same person. You're the prize, right? So I think he's picking the wrong people to mess around with. I hate to say he need to pick somebody who got something to lose too, but in so many ways he can't be picking somebody who is so young, right? Because I don't know how old the other lady was,
and allegedly an OnlyFans model. And allegedly an OnlyFans.
That's what I'm saying. Like an OnlyFans model. Let's be honest, man. No disrespect to anybody who do OnlyFans, right? But OnlyFans people, majority got the mindset by any means necessary, I'm gonna get this bread. So anybody got that mindset, then you better believe when you start looking or acting funny to them, they're gonna start plotting, and point and take $50 million. Like if this man raped you, all jokes aside, and I'll let you go. If this man raped her first thing should be pressing charges to get him convicted. Get him convicted, right? Once he gets convicted, he goes to jail, then do the suing for the money. She ain't gonna never sue this man for to be convicted. So I have a problem with people who do it backwards like that because it always sounds like a money grab. Then $50 million.
What I wanted to say,
$50 million.
What I wanted to say in terms of the recklessness, though, it's how he's going about the sex. With the IG live situation, you were that in a rush to have sex that you ain't think, all right, hold up, let me put my phone down, let me place these things down. You were that in a rush? That's reckless. That's reckless.
Reckless? I don't know, but I tell you one thing. I don't use IG. But I know it is easy for me to it's not easy, but I can flick the wrong switch or something. And they be like, do you want to show your face? I'm like, no. Or they be like, you want to share your videos? I was like, no. but I'm looking at the phone. So,
Jay,
I don't know,
the
reckless,
thing is,
because
reckless. My
I
thing
don't
is,
know
if
about
you're about to
reckless.
get busy,
Yeah. Yeah.
you ain't just tossing your phone.
We
Come
butt
on.
dial people, don't we? Thank God we have never butt dial people in the middle of getting it popping. It's to
Nah,
the
man,
point
you
I
put
take off
your
my damn Apple Watch. I don't play
listen.
around. Like, I
I'll
don't
be
want
so
nothing to be.
I'll
I
be
don't
so
got time to be
paranoid.
like Jared talking about, cuz, that's you? I'd be like, oh shit. Oh shit. Damn, I hit the call button. Hold on, baby. Hold on.
No, I don't need to hear no
Or
hollering.
act like
I don't
or
need
act like
it.
you're a Mormon and just be quiet. Talking about, baby, we don't say nothing. Keep quiet thing. Nah, I hear
Yeah.
you talking. Oh shit. Damn, we don't call them. Now,
Listen.
granted, that never happened. And hopefully it never does. I have
If
no
it does
electronics
happen,
next to me.
I'm about to drop kick both of y'all. Shoot. But
So
no, I'm
yeah,
just
so I
saying,
mean, he
I'm
owned up too. He
paranoid.
probably, but from what I heard, it's hard to go live on IG. So I don't know.
Listen, I'm just saying, I'm paranoid with the
Yeah,
phone in general. Like when I'm home,
yeah, me
I will
too.
literally cover the phone. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
I don't have no phones next to me. I don't have my Apple Watch next to me.
I'm just saying, I feel like
We
he's
ain't trying
being
to go live over
reckless.
here.
I feel like he's being reckless and he's being reckless with the wrong people. I feel like a sister. I don't think a
Mhm.
sister, I don't think that IG Live thing happens with a sister.
Nope.
I don't think,
You don't think so?
no, I don't.
Why not?
Because sisters, how they operate is different. She ain't gonna be like,
Don't
all right,
forget, he
calm
picks certain
down.
people. He picks certain people.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying who
So he
he's
could pick
choosing
a
to be
sister with
reckless.
that same mentality.
You could get a sister with that
If you
same
got a
mentality,
picker
but he don't
minus the
play.
color,
He don't play
yeah.
with. He don't play with the sisters though. He
How
plays.
you know? I never knew the man was dating until this happened.
Listen,
And don't
there have
forget,
been
when he had them
rumors.
kids, we had Nokia phones back in the days.
There have been rumors
And we
circulating
paid
for a
minutes.
minute. There have been rumors
Huh?
circulating for a minute that he only deals with the snow. Okay, there's been
Wait, but
rumors.
but his kids don't look like his kids like they're black.
Okay, and that was probably earlier on in his career.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
When you get more money,
You know what I'm
that
saying, before
attracts.
technology.
When you get more money, that attracts different
Well,
people.
listen, when it's all said and done, man, I just hope I was about to call him an idiot, but he's not an idiot. I just hope he just learns from this and understand that at any moment it could be taken away from you.
It looked like it's taken away already. I was looking last
Yeah.
night to see if I went online. I said, I wonder if he's doing nightcap tonight.
Nightcap?
And I ain't see nothing. I said, ooh.
You see Nightcap?
Oh, another thing I want to
Listen, when
circle
it
back.
disappears on ESPN, you know it's official.
Yeah. Another thing I want to point out too, you're talking about the age thing. One thing I'm seeing a lot of is this whole, well, white men date young women too, like Leonardo DiCaprio. I was reading online, I think the average age of his girlfriends these days is, I think, around 22 years old.
Oh my lord.
That's the
How old is he?
average. Leonardo?
How old is he?
I think Leo's in his 50s.
Mm.
Let me see.
Yo, wasn't Derek Jeter girlfriend, now wife, wasn't she young too?
Yep.
Man, listen, I'm telling you, man, they crazy. They in the wrong spot, because I'm telling you right now,
Yeah, Leonardo just
my
turned
wife look
50.
good for her age, okay?
Leonardo's 50.
So, huh?
Leonardo's 50.
Well, my wife ain't 50, but
No. I'm saying, but look at who they messing with. Listen.
that's what I'm saying. I
Listen,
mean, it must be a
listen,
Hollywood thing, man.
No, but I'm just saying black women age slowly. That's all I'm gonna say.
For the most part, unless they're Jasmine Guy.
Damn.
Okay, we're gonna
I
leave that
said
alone.
what I said. I said what I said. Well, Jasmine Guy's high yellow, so she don't count. No, I just playing. But yeah, so
I know.
My thing is, when they're saying, well, you have all these white men that are dating young too, blah, blah, blah. My thing is, as black men, is that who we aspire to be like? We set the standard. We shouldn't be looking at other people to set the standard. We shouldn't be aspiring
guess what?
to be
What they're
like
doing
that.
ain't right either.
Right, but that ain't none of our business.
Yeah. I mean,
And technically,
it's two
Shannon
things.
ain't none
It's
of our business either.
Who?
Technically, Shannon ain't none of our business either. The problem is, when you have a black figure in media, we all get jumbled into the pot with them. And that's why I keep saying, a lot of y'all have hatred for black men. Black men as a whole ain't doing this mess. That is Shannon. That is Shannon.
And
You may know some black men that act like that
Shannons.
too. You may know some black men that act like that too, but that ain't all of us.
Yeah.
That is Shannon and them dudes over there. And it's just not black men. I hate when people make these generalizations. It's not just black men that are doing this recklessness.
I agree. I saw some black lady said black men are the real bad witches. I was like, wait, how we get thrown up in this?
Exactly. And
how we get thrown up in there? Like,
is, a lot of people wait for
it.
confirmation bias. They wait for something like this to happen so they can spew their negative vitriol towards black men. That's all they're just waiting for something to happen, and then they can lump us in and be like, see, black men are the white people of black people, like that article said by very smart brothers back in the day. Or they can say, see, black men, they all just want to be closer to white men. They just want to be in the patriarchy. They're waiting for a moment to do that. Those studies will say we are of the fathers, the most involved fathers. When they say, studies will say, black men that get married, we tend to, for the most part, get married to black women. Studies will prove time and time again, these negative traits that y'all associate with black men are not true. But you wait for an example like Shannon Sharpe in order to castigate all of us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know who you are talking about when you say they castrate all of us and throw us all in the pot.
Well, I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about gay black men, black women,
what
black
article is
men
this?
that
You
act like
say
they're
everybody
holding them
throws us in
down,
the
white people.
So everybody throws in the same pot as Shannon now?
Yeah, every time you'll see the dialogue. That's why, what's her name? Jamila Lemieux was able to write that article talking about the black ASS lie. And she was using Dave Chappelle and Chris Brown and Bill Cosby in order to lump all black men into the same boat. And I said, well, what that got to do with me?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I know, man. At the end of the day, man, it's always going to be like that, and it's sad, and it shouldn't be like that. And the only thing we could do is just remind them and show them that, nah, that's him, that's not me.
Exactly.
And how we can do that is how we continue to move. We move accordingly. We got evidence to back up what we're saying. And that's him. That's not us, And
the other thing, even on that, people are saying, well, if Shannon was married, that's why you guys got to get married when you get older. Listen, marriage isn't for everyone. What Shannon needed to be was disciplined. He's not disciplined, like you said earlier.
Not disciplined.
That you
Shannon's a typical dude but Shannon's an athlete and an athlete that's still in shape. So it's kind of weird how Shannon moved like somebody who just found fame and just started going to the gym and getting right? You know what I'm saying? That's how Shannon acting. Shannon been paid and been in the limelight for a long time. So I don't know how he acting like he young. Like, you're not young, man. Technology has changed. Back when you was playing football, there wasn't no internet like how it is now. Yeah, and I get it. You probably was settling down with women of your age, and you said, when I get older, but where has that gotten you? Where has that gotten you? Yeah, what? It's easy to wake up in the morning or wake up in the middle of the night and call somebody to come over. Yeah, eventually that gets played out, believe me. And also, you got to remember, when it's all said and done, when you are of that stature, you have to now start finding people that are right for your circle.
Mm-hmm.
Trust, you know what I'm saying? You can't be finding randoms and expect for these randoms to act like someone that's been there since day one.
Right. Right.
Because he's surprised. I'm not surprised. As soon as I found out who she was and how she looked, I said, bro, I saw that a mile coming. Like, I don't know. Like, come on, man. You got to be smart nowadays. And I thought he was smart. What I mean by you got to be smart, you got to understand, when you're an athlete, when you're making that money, when you're in the limelight like that, everybody should be checked thoroughly.
And it don't matter, younger or older, women will still play you when you are a celebrity.
Yes, they will.
It don't matter.
Yeah, they'll play you.
It don't matter. Even it don't matter black or white. But the problem is, when it's white, as a black man, historically, that's going to harm us very bad. Very bad.
Yeah, because you named a few people in the beginning, and all these people were falsely accused. Now, we don't know if he was falsely accused, but I just feel like how everything is running as far as the lawsuit versus prosecuting him and finding, doing it. I'd rather see him go to jail and then go after his money. We're seeing only go after his money, and then we seeing how, she's quick to bait him on pre-recorded arguments. Like, and what I mean by bait him, you could tell clearly she's triggering him, saying things that on a normal day she probably wouldn't say. And and we see the script. I'm the docile, scared woman.
White woman.
You are the angry
man.
man.
That's the key point. No. Docile white woman, you're the angry black man. You cannot erase race from this.
No, you can't. You can't. Everybody can see. Everybody know what color she is. So unless we doing like a blind item, then we know by the voice first of all, and then you're like, okay, the voice matched the face. Damn, and she look young. She sound young. Come on. So when this is all said and done, and then on top of that, him trying to pay her $10 million to shut up, that's a problem right there within itself. Who came out with that? Why?
It's a bad look. I look at it two ways. One, it could be he's trying to pay her because he wants to.
He's about to be embarrassed.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be embarrassed. And the other, he wants to pay her because he feels he's guilty and just like, here, take this, just take this. Thinking she'll be satisfied
$10 million
with that.
though, and she say no.
Hey, listen. She got the ultimate come up. And the thing is, his reputation's ruined, unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Yeah, his reputation is ruined because, let's be honest. You try to pay somebody $10 million not to say something. That is to me, that's a sign of guilt. $10 million is not $10.
Well, I wouldn't say that because $10 million, what is $10 million to a multimillionaire like Shannon? That's nothing.
If I'm innocent, Jay Stokes, I'm not paying you shit.
He might also not want the issue. It's just like, all right, just pay this person because
she can't be trusted already.
Here's the issue. So here's where I'm seeing both sides of this. Yes, I see your part. It could be an admission of guilt. The other side could be, I don't want this coming out. And I know that if I challenge this is going to come out. So I might as well just pay her.
And guess what? It backfired because now I don't know if it's her lawyer or his lawyer. Release that. We shouldn't know any of this. I don't care what they're doing. They bad.
Yeah, life was easier
9 out of 10, and then
people.
Yeah, and then it's kind of iffy because it's like, okay, so you said 2 times out of how many times?
Well, obviously they've been racking. They had to be going at it a lot.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised, especially the way Shannon be talking on Nightcap. I would not be surprised if they've been going at it a lot.
Yeah.
And now we have on 2 separate occasions. That's the thing, man. And this is what bothers me about stories like this, because then it makes it hard to take victims seriously or people that are actually victims seriously. And then it also is hard to side with the accused because at any time you could be sleeping with someone and then one time they weren't feeling it and now they can go back retroactively and say, oh, you raped me. And then how can you prove that I didn't? I can't prove it.
Correct. And everything you're saying is correct. And that's the crazy part, right? Because when you think about it, the word rape, just having that stigma on you, that's already a problem. So it's kind of like, come on, man, how do we move forward from this?
Right.
I don't know how he can and not lose some deal,
Nah, you're exactly
and when it's all
correct.
said and done, man, listen, all that I can say is shame on him if he did it, and if he didn't, shame on him still, because, learn from this, man. You can't trust everybody, man.
You're too old to be acting like that. You be saying all these sayings from your grandparents and stuff. They should have taught you discernment.
That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah, man, come on. When it's all said and done, oh, man, the sad part is I guess we'll never experience how to be arrogant with money. But this right here is just a person that I really believe that he probably started feeling himself, right? Started, because clearly he No, I'm about to say Drake. You like them young, but you do like
you
them
said, hey
young,
Shay,
man.
hey Shay, I heard you
Hey
like it
Shay,
young.
I hear you like them young,
And the thing is,
right?
he's
So
been unapologetic about it. He said it on Nightcap before. He said, "Well, women do it; they date young, and no one has a problem with it. So why can't we do it?"
because we have a problem with them dating young too. Like, what the hell? Just because we don't say it. Listen, we don't got to say it every time we're uncomfortable with something, And I'm tired of that dumb excuse. Like, come on, bro. If you date somebody your daughter age or younger than your daughter, that's a problem. And for moms, if you dating your son's best friend age or younger than your son's best friend, I mean, younger than your son, that's a problem. Like, nobody ain't worried about Stella getting a groove back. That's a movie.
Here's
Stella
the
came
thing.
home and ain't never think about that man again in real life.
Here's the thing, though, Jay. Someone said this
What's up?
on a podcast that I'm listening to.
Mhm.
He said, well, not a podcast, it was a YouTube video. He said, see, we live in an era right now where men want to be women and the women want to be men.
I agree.
Why, if you know that women are choosing to sleep with younger guys, why do you want to copy that behavior? Why?
Exactly.
Aren't you
Why?
supposed to be the leaders as men? Aren't we supposed to be the leaders, quote unquote? Then why don't we lead? We say, nah, we don't do that behavior. Nah.
Listen, man, we got to do more shaming. What I mean by shaming,
we do
you
need
be
to
like,
break
yo,
that
that's
shame.
not cool.
We do need to break that
Keep
shame.
pushing. That's how we shame. We ain't gonna be like shame. No, we're gonna be like, nah, that's nasty, man. That's not cool. And keep it pushing. Anytime your friends come, like, yeah, I'm talking to this girl, and we all in our 40s. Yeah, she 22, bro. That's nasty, huh? It's nasty. Damn, why you so judgmental? That's young, man. Come on. And then you just keep it pushing. So now your friend ain't gonna never tell you he dating somebody young again, or you're gonna be like, you know what, you got a point. It's gonna be either or, but you're gonna never hear that conversation again. And you're gonna know not to bring that conversation around you.
What if you try to bring the girl around you?
I be like, I ain't know bring your kid to school, out to the club day.
Listen,
Yo, you know me. You know I don't play.
I'm gonna get the heck out of Dodge so fast. I'll be like, nah, y'all ain't catch me up in this nonsense. Nope.
Yep. Oh yeah, you better believe it. I don't got time for that, man. Listen, when it's all said and done, listen, people do what they want to do, but I mean, this is what happens when you do what you want to do.
With
You
that
can do
being
what you want to
said,
do, but this is what happens.
let's get into the commercial break.
What's up?
Sorry, I meant let's get into updates.
Okay. I thought the commercials playing in the background.
That's how I paused, how to think about it. Man, we ain't did this in so long. So for updates, well, just doing business as usual. Well, I haven't really been posting. I'm going to start posting some more, just doing some catch-up work. I do got to post about the Shannon situation, get my perspective. Then there's another thing regarding Dodie 6, but we'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk about that offline because I don't want to drag this podcast on any more than it needs to go. But we'll talk about that and we'll figure out what to do with that. But let's get into the topic of the day. So we're speaking about people dating young. We've talked about that, I think, ad nauseum here. And it was interesting. There was a video circulating around today in the midst of all the Shannon Sharpe conversation where I saw Kelly Rowland. She was a judge on one of those singing shows or talent shows, whatever. And she was Google-eyed over this white dude that was on stage. She was talking about, oh, his eyes. And then he said, I'm 19. She's like, oh, I don't have nothing to do with you then. And then he said something along the lines of,
I just can't get over the fact that you're just so damn hot. I'm supposed to be like giving you like really good advice right now, and I just can't get past. What color are your eyes?
They're blue.
Yeah. That's nice. So nice.
How old are you? I'm 19. 19.
Oh, yeah, well, that puts me completely out of it. Out of it, guys.
Nah, it doesn't.
now I'm
woman, my hands on your face.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God. Boy, don't play with me. I'm a married woman. I am far away from my husband. Lord, don't look at me no more.
Oh, well, it doesn't bother me, right? Like, he was pretty much saying, yeah, I'm young, but I can still rock with you. And I know Kelly has to be in her 40s now, right? So
Is
I
she
know
married? I thought she was married.
she is married. So we don't know. Maybe
that's
she's
another
playing.
reason why I was annoyed.
Maybe she's playing it up for the camera. Either way, if I'm married, I wouldn't want my wife acting like that. That's disrespectful in my opinion. Because
You don't know if they're really playing or not. Like, you got to live with that.
Exactly. So she was blushing after he said that, and the audience was cheering. And I thought about it, and I said, this is a double standard. Because if that was a 19-year-old woman and you had a male judge in his 40s and they had that exchange, people would not appreciate that. And so I thought about it.
I don't know, because people love when Drake hugged that 17-year-old girl. So it depends on the audience.
That was back in the day, and plus he was in his 20s.
Okay, I see.
Age
So
gap.
I think he was like 23, 24.
I'm not saying
Like
I'm not saying the behavior wasn't weird. I'm just saying that the age gap was closer.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and plus, it's not like, anyways.
Okay.
but I thought about the double standard there, and I also thought about the message that it sends to young men and older men, pretty much saying that we're always the aggressors. Even when you're young, go for the older woman. Then when you're old, go for the younger woman. You can still get them if you got money and fame. And there is this societal norm to where we're always in a position where we have to be the aggressors, we have to chase. But then there's a conflicting message too. We have to be the aggressors, we have to chase, but I don't want to be catcalled. Not saying I agree with that, because I don't. But I don't want to be catcalled. But I don't want to be approached in public places. But I don't want to be approached at the gym. Well, I don't care for I don't want to be approached at the club. So I can kind of empathize with young men and men in general, where you have these messages that, okay, well, you have to be the aggressor and go after the woman. But then when you do it, you got to read the situation right. And you don't even know. I really think it comes down to if she's feeling you or not. If she's attracted to you, and you don't know till you ask. So what do you say about that? What are your thoughts?
So it's two things. So I just want to make sure I'm answering the right question. Are we talking about the age difference in the double standard, like, or
you can
are we
address
talking
both.
about how men? Well, yeah, you're right. It's definitely a double standard. If that was a man talking to a 19-year-old girl, I do believe if they were, if the man was Kelly Rowland age and the girl was 19, I think it would be a problem. Commercial break, they will be talking to that person. But I do believe also it's the time that we live in, right? They always look like men. We conquer. See that older woman, I'm gonna conquer her. See that younger girl, and I'm older, I'm gonna conquer her, right? You're right. So it's a weird position that men are in, and all that I can say is, I don't know. I mean, I think also it was plain banter, right? Hopefully.
Would that banter still be accepted if the genders were reversed?
No, it wouldn't be. No, it shouldn't be. And yeah, you got a point, because I never looked at it like, I was more disgusted. 'Cause I was like, you married, stop playing these games, right?
Right.
I wasn't looking at the fact, I didn't even know he was 19. I thought he looked like he was older than 19, right? So I didn't really know about the age. But you're right. It's definitely a double standard. And yeah, that's tough, because you're right. Because if the roles were switched and the lady was 56 and Shannon was 20, it wouldn't even bother no one. They'd be like, dang, you bagging that old lady? Okay.
Well,
like,
look,
what? No, it's not a problem.
There's not a lot of public scrutiny for Anthony Edwards' situation. Anthony Edwards, he for everything that we've seen of him, yes, he acts like a jerk. I'm not going to put that label on him, but yeah, he acts like a jerk. He acts like a jerk. However, the woman that he's having a child with is, I think a decade older than him. The one that they had the kid together, I think she's over 10 years older than him, if I'm not mistaken. So
the one who's Chief Keef baby mother? Her?
I believe so. Is that was the one? The one where he is going to give her a lump sum of the child support? That one?
Oh, no, that's another older woman. I'm sorry. You must like him older.
See what I'm talking about? You have multiple older women preying on this young dude. Yeah, he needs to use his discernment.
Look at the older lady, Bernice, that was dating Jalen.
Oh, Bernice Burgos with Jalen. See what I'm talking about? And here's the thing. So I feel like those younger guys, when they get these women pregnant, they're looked at crazy, and people tell them, well,
we got Jalen Green getting Dayra pregnant. I think Dayra could get pregnant.
Drea Michelle,
yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, Drea got some heat, but it wasn't that big of a deal. I feel like if the roles were reversed, imagine, right?
Mm-hmm.
A dude in his, how old is Drea? Late 30s?
I thought she was in her 40s, bro. If she's in the late 30s, then.
So she's somewhere in there.
I should ask Siri. Siri probably don't know her. Siri, like, who's that?
She get fake ages. So imagine a dude like that going after Angel Reese.
Oh, no.
Or going after, I'm trying to think of another straight woman in a W. Because she's the only big name that comes to mind.
No, but I hear what you're saying. That's enough.
You see what I'm saying?
I
imagine something like that happening. People be looking at it crazy. Like, people were looking at Shaq crazy when he was talking to Angel on the podcast, talking about y'all gotta wear shorter shorts. Angel is
Shaq
what?
likes them young too, quote unquote. I mean,
Angel, what is 22, 23? And Shaq's in his 40s, 50s. Where is he? 40s, 50s? And he was looked at crazy for making those comments, as he should have been. Right?
Wasn't Kobe older than his wife? I think so.
But it wasn't, the age difference wasn't that crazy,
Selective outrage, man. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Selective outrage, man.
And now for a quick commercial break.
Hey guys, as you can hear, we are unapologetic in our opinions. We may be politically incorrect or possibly wrong, but don't knock us for being ourselves and saying what many are too afraid to admit out loud. Anyways, if you have any thoughts or questions about our show, email us at chemistryproductions@gmail.com. That's K3MISTRY productions@gmail.com. We'll be sure to address whatever you have to say.
Yeah, I didn't mean to venture into sports, but that's the example that just came up.
Because those examples just came to mind. Sports, because you know how I felt about last night games.
Yeah. We'll talk about that another time. And the last thing I want to say, I want to leave off on this. I want to get your thoughts. So another thing Kelly Rowland was saying was his eyes. She was concentrating on his eye color, and I think they were blue.
Yes.
I was talking to my wife about this recently. Mm-hmm. I said, any black person that says they have a preference for lighter skin, I'll even throw in the blue eyes, I think is problematic. I think it's problematic because the thing is, being black, you can never divorce your preference for something that is white leaning from systemic oppression and racism. You can't divorce the two. To say
you can't, cuz.
You said you can?
Well, clearly you can, right? Now, you and I don't, right? But clearly you can.
Jay,
which part are we talking about?
Okay. We'll stick to let's start with the eye color first, then we'll go to the skin color.
Okay.
As a black person, yes, we know there are black people that have blue eyes. Yes, we know that's the case. As a black person,
and some of us look white too. Well, it's kind of like more like pale, but albinos.
All right, Jay. So
what are we talking about?
In America, yes. A black person that says
in America.
Excuse me.
I'm just playing.
What are you saying?
I said we don't have no. I said we don't have any albinos in America.
Shut up. In America, yes. A black person saying I like blue eyes or have a preference for blue eyes, you don't see that as problematic?
I don't see that as the word problematic. I guess it would be considered problematic. I think it'll be more self-hate than anything,
That's
because
why I just
clearly
say
you're never going to
problematic.
like who you. Well,
Yeah, you can like who you
okay.
like. You can
Define
like who you
problematic,
like. But the
please.
question is, the thing is, you can like what you like, right? My thing is, how did you arrive there? Do you like blue eyes because you were indoctrinated by media that always showed blue eyes as good and showed brown eyes as bad? You always have to ask these extra questions. And then if I throw in the skin color in there, you'll have black people that say, oh, I like lighter skinned women, right? They're talking about, they'll say lighter skinned black women, right? The black dudes. You can't divorce that from racism because.
So am I racist because I like dark skinned women?
No.
Okay.
Here's the thing, because
I never thought I was racist.
Because colorism, you're funny. Colorism is the discrimination against darker individuals, right? So a black person saying, I have a preference for darker skinned mates, whether they're women or men, right? You hear it a lot from black women. They say, I like darker skinned black men. And then you'll have light skinned people saying, oh, well, that's not colorism. You could call it prejudice, right? I call it coming home.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, prejudice coming home.
That's what I call it. But I'm saying that historically, darker skinned individuals, people with black features are more discriminated against. So as a black person, if you have a preference for a feature that is naturally or popular, is people would associate with whiteness, and you have a preference for that, I say it's problematic. I have a preference for blue eyes. That's problematic. Why? Because media tells us that blue eyes is better. Society tells us that white is better. So you having a preference for blue eyes, how do we know if it's truly a preference or if you were indoctrinated to believe that? I have a preference for lighter skinned black women. I have a preference for lighter skinned women. Is that truly a preference, or did society teach you that darker skinned is bad? Right? We can never divorce racism from those preferences because we do not know where they originate from.
So my question to you is then, I hear what you're saying, but can a preference just be a preference?
The question is, where does it come from?
Well, I like darker skinned women, and my mother isn't really considered dark.
Okay.
So,
like I said, coming home.
You know what I'm saying? And normally you like what you grow up with, right? So that's what I'm trying to,
like I said, it's coming home. As a black person, liking darker skin, that shouldn't be seen, to me, as problematic because normally black people are darker skinned. It's not until all this mixing, aka rape, that caused these lighter skinned blacks. Yes, on the continent of Africa, you have lighter skinned blacks, but we're talking about in America. Okay.
Isn't black though?
Black is black. However, studies show that lighter skinned black people in America, now I'm speaking for America, okay? I ain't speaking for the world. I'm speaking for America. Parts of it could apply to the world too. Studies show that lighter skinned black people get preferential treatment in American society, whether it be marriage, whether it be access to jobs, whether it be on dating apps. That is proven.
Okay. So this is my only thing, and I know we're dragging this out, so we could probably have this conversation on our Sunday show. My only thing is, I hear what you're saying. My only problem is that we're all black, right? So let's just throw whiteness out of it. I don't think it's problematic if a black person likes a light-skinned person that's black.
No, that's not
just
problematic.
Like, I don't think it's... I thought you said it was.
It's problematic if they say, I have a preference for light-skinned blacks.
So, but it's not problematic if a black person said, I have a preference for a dark-skinned person?
I don't believe so.
See, I think that's where I disagree with you at.
Do you know why I don't believe so?
Why?
Outside of me being funny with the coming home thing, because historically speaking, darker skin is not seen as attractive or desirable. So to say that you have a preference for darker skin, that is going against the societal norm that dark is bad.
So what about white men who say they have a preference for darker skin?
Nah.
And on that note, let's end the show. Listen, if y'all want to hear some more, we probably break this up. This right here will be a good conversation continuation on Sunday with our with our group of listeners.
Yeah,
we probably them trolls probably lose it.
We do need a panel.
I think we should continue this.
Random, one of these days we got to get a panel for this. We do.
Yeah,
I really believe so. I'll see what I can.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see other people's opinions and point of views.
And best believe I'm gonna knock down every one of them.
Oh God, hilarious, man. But definitely. But good show. I'm about to watch. I just got a notification that the Miami about to go down 0-2. Or is it 0-3?
Is that a surprise?
No, I'm not surprised. They can't do it.
We'll talk about it on Sunday.
All right. Peace.
So go a little something like this. That's AVIOT.